Okay, let me start again on this question. I made a mistake when I wrote it out earlier. Right, to solve this, we've got a circle which just fits inside a square of side 8. So the circle has radius 4, and we're trying to work out the distance AP. And I'm sure a lot of people looked at this question and went, how the hell am I supposed to work this out? Well, it's probably not a surprise to you that trigonometry is involved in some way. We're actually going to use Pythagoras. We know we can make a right angle triangle here. Oh dear, sorry. Right angle triangle here. There we go. That's slightly better, not massive improvement, but hey. And because this is a radius, that length is 4. Because this is half the side of the square, that length is 4. And this hypotenuse is going to be the radius, which is 4, plus AP, which we're trying to work out, x. So we know that 4 squared plus 4 squared equals 4 plus x squared. That's Pythagoras, because this squared plus this squared equals the diagonal squared. So we get 16 plus 16, which is 32, equals 4 times 4. So that's 2 lots of 4 times x plus x squared. And if we rearrange that, we get x squared plus 8x minus 16 equals 0. And then we can apply the quadratic formula. I mean, you could try and factorize this, but you can't actually factorize it. And what you get is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. 4ac will, c is minus 16a is 1, so we get minus 64, so it's subtract 64, negative 64, which means add 64 all over 2a. So we get negative 8 over 2 plus or minus the square root of 128, which you can plug it into a calculator. Another way of simplifying is that 4 is a factor of this, so we get, 4 times 32, so it's plus minus the square root of 32, and 32 is 4 root 2. Doesn't really matter, but basically if you plug in the numbers, you get a negative answer and you get a positive answer. The positive answer is negative 4 plus 4 root 2, 1.66, or the other value, which is going to be minus something, I don't know, 9.66 or something. And of course the positive one is valid because we're looking at lengths. Okay, so that's to prove the first bit. And then it says calculate the length of dp. Now, that's a slightly more tricky proposition. Okay, and that's a really terrible line. So we've got a triangle here. And we need to know what the length dp is. So how are we going to go about doing this one? Where's my line? Well, to work out the length dp, we're obviously going to have to involve some kind of trigonometry plan here. And the key thing is, do we know any of the angles in this triangle? Because we know 2 of the sides. We don't know this angle here. We don't know this angle here. But what we do know is that AC split the square in half. So rather cunningly, that angle there is 45, because that one would be 45 too, because it's the diagonal. So this angle here, and I really should have drawn this triangle bigger, is 45. Now, if you've got 2 sides and the angle between them and you want to work out the other side, that's classic cosine rule. So what we would say is that dp squared, apologies for the bad diagram, equals a squared plus b squared. And we should use the full value of this. So don't round. In fact, I might even, well, it's 4 root 2 minus 4. Squared. So a squared plus b squared minus 2bc equals a. Yeah, so it's the one side. Let me draw this triangle out bigger, because that's a horrendous diagram. I know it's not to scale. Oh god, that's even worse. Sorry. That's 45 here. some reason, my poor writing skills on this tablet are being absolutely stretched to the limit on this question. Right, that's 8, that's 1.66, and that is 45. Yeah, so we're doing a squared equals, a is the side opposite. So the third side we work out by doing the other two sides. We square them, we add them, and we do minus 2 times 8 times 1.66 times cos of 45. Don't use 1.66, remember, use the full unrounded version. If we plug all that into the calculator, we get 64 plus, oh dear, I don't know, whatever that comes out as, minus 16 times that times cos 45, blah, 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 blah. The answer we should get at the end of all of that is in the mark scheme. I hope that makes sense, that question. I think it's tricky because the two parts of it require tricks that aren't immediately obvious. The first one, you need to create this right angle triangle, which is not marked on there. And for the second one, you need to spot that because there's the diagonal there, those two angles are 45. So try and, if you get a question like this where there's not a lot of information, try and fill in some extra stuff and see if that helps you get to the final answer. Difficult one, this.